Hi guys, it's me, Big Rick, and today we're going to talk about an article I found on VegasInsider.com, and it lists all the odds of the NHL teams and their chances of winning Stanley Cup. But we're just going to go over the top 10, okay? So before we begin, if you can do me a favor, you can hit the like button. It helps with the YouTube algorithm, helps my channel grow, lets me know that you like content like this. I know a lot of people don't cover NHL stuff, but hockey's my favorite sport, a lot more than the NFL, which to me has been dumbed down completely. I think hockey's the toughest sport out there. So let's get to it. Run that intro. So number 10, we have the Minnesota Wild. Okay, so I can see why they have them ranked 10th. They do have a good mixture of youth and veterans. Like Dumba, of course, as a Rangers fan, I'm always going to love Matt Zuccarello. And Cam Talbot is a great goaltender. I can see why they have him at 10th. I have no issues with this. So let's go on to number 9. At number 9, we have the New York Islanders. Ooh, it doesn't bother me that they have the New York Islanders at number 9. I think they are a strong defensive-minded team with great goaltending, and they are a tough team to play. Very, very tough team. But it just irks me that they're better. They're ranked higher up than the Rangers. It's that rivalry. But I have no issues with this. Them at 2001 to win. So they're at number 9. But number 8, they have the Florida Panthers. And the Panthers have a very good team. I actually think they should be a little bit higher. First off, they're well-rounded. They got good offense, and they have, I think, a really good goaltender in Sergei. I can never say the guy's last name, Bobrovsky. Let's just go with that. I know it's wrong. You guys can kill me in the comments below. But, I mean, you also have Reinhardt in there. You got Thornton. You got Barkov. You got Jonathan Huberdeau. That's the only thing with hockey. It's harder to pronounce people's last names than it is football. Anthony Duclair is a really good player. Ekblad. Hornquist is in there. And, one of my favorite defensive players that I think is completely underrated is Radko Gudas. I love him. I loved him when he was in Washington. I love him. I think he's a perfect fit in Florida. So to me, this team is really set to go. My only question is their backup goaltender, Christopher Gibson. I really don't know much about him. I haven't heard much about him. So other than that, I think this is a really good team. I would think they would be higher up, but they're there. 7, you got the Pittsburgh Penguins. Of course, you got Sidney Crosby, Malkin, and the usual cast of characters. But I don't know. To me, I just don't think they are the same. I would put the Islanders ahead of them. I just don't think they have the players that are just as good as the Islanders. I mean, yeah, like I said, you got Crosby, of course. He's one of the best players in hockey. But as I looked through the lineup, Jeff Carter, yeah, he's a good player. Let's see, who else do they have here? No one else really sticks out that's going to make. Brian Rust. I know Brian Rust is a good player. Jeff Carter. Gunsel, a good player. Brian Boyle. Okay. Ex-Ranger again. But those players aren't like game changers to me. I think the Islanders have better players tell you the truth. I think that I would put the Islanders higher than them, but that's me. Okay, so next we have the Carolina Hurricanes, and um, they have a pretty good team. Um, I'm interested to see. Again, this is another one where, man, they do have a lot of X-Rangers on this team. Oh my God. This is like the Rangers of the South. Let's see, how many X-Rangers do you guys have? I mean, you got great goaltending. You got Frederick Anderson and Antti Ranta. Antti Ranta used to be an X-Ranger. Tony D'Angelo, good luck with that racist prick. Derek Stepan, Brian Anderson, Jesper Fast, and Joey Keane. Oh, and Brady Sky. So those are all ex-Rangers. Jacob Slavin's a good player. Nino Niederreiter, he's a good player. Jordan Stahl. Yeah, and Aho. Oh, that's kind of Aho. I don't think this team is going to make that. I mean, they're a good team, but again, I think there are other teams that are better than them. Unless I'm missing something here. Trocheck, yeah, he's a good player. Suki, he's a good player. Is it more? I guess 6 might not be that bad position, but I would. I still think the Islanders would beat them if they went head to head. Now we got the Toronto Maple Leafs. Now we have the Toronto Maple Leafs, and yes, okay. So I actually thought they'd be a lot higher. To tell you the truth, their goaltending is going to be really good. They got Peter Mazur. I can't even say his name. Razorek and Jack Campbell. You also have players like Austin Matthews, John Tavares on your team, Morgan Riley, William Nylander, Wayne Simmons. I mean, this team is stacked. Jake Musin. Yeah, so I would have put this team a lot higher chance to win the Stanley Cup. I actually like this team. I like how they're built. I see them going pretty far. I really do. As long as their goaltending holds up, because Peter did suffer that thumb injury last year, where I think, if I recall, I'm not 100% what happened. I think one of the other team's players bumped one of his players into him, and he suffered a thumb injury that was kind of weird because it forced him to miss a good amount of time. But when he did come back, like the game he came back, he had a shutout. So he was really having a great year last year. So he's a good goalie to have. He was stuck at the beginning of his career in Detroit hell, and now he's free from that. This team is stacked. I don't know how the heck they have him only in 5th. But let's see the teams they have ahead of them. All right, okay, so in 4th, we got Boston Bruins. All right, I can see this. I can see them going probably higher, but we got to see who the heck they have above them. Boston's stacked. You got David Pastrnak, Brad Marchand, who, thank you, Marchand. You helped me save my season last year in fantasy hockey. Nick Foligno, Taylor Hall, Charlie McAvoy. I mean, this whole team is just ridiculously stacked. I mean, I don't think there's a weak line on this team. I'm looking through it, and I honestly don't see a weak player on here. The only thing I could say is even the goaltender, Allmark, he came from Buffalo. He might have like the greatest record, but it's not his fault. Buffalo just sucked. They had no defense. They were all about the offense, and they would just give away breakaways and didn't even help the goalie at all. So whatever record he had prior to being in Boston, I would just ignore because it wasn't his fault. I saw games where he was getting bombarded with like 40, 50 shots a game, and he would let in like five. And that's not his fault. If you're getting bombarded with that many shots and you allow five, that's not bad. So uh, just be happy. You also got Patrice Bergeron, of course. Um, there's so many great players on this team. So that is the fourth place team. I'm anxious to see who they have going further up. And so now in third, we got the Las Vegas Knights. And do I like them being in third? That is the question. I'm looking at their lineup and let's see who sticks out. Again, Robin Lehner. He was a goaltender in Buffalo who, again, his record does not reflect how good of a goalie he was. William Karlsson, good centerman. Matt Pacioretty, Alec Martinez. That's a really good guy to have on your team. Alex Petra, I can never say his name. The defenseman from St. Louis, Alex Petroliano. There you go. That's as close as I'm going to get. Then you got Jonathan Marchellette. Again, that's the only thing with hockey. It's these people have the hardest names to say. Riley Smith, Brett Howden. Again, another ex-Ranger. He was really good for us, but we just, with all the youth that we have, we just had to let go of some people. Evgeny Dadnovan, he's a good player to have. I like this team a lot, but I would say I would put Boston ahead of them. I just think Boston head-to-head would beat them. Both are really good defensive teams. I think Boston just has a little bit more offense. Goaltending, if you had to tell me Lehner or Allmark, I think I'm leaning more towards Allmark. So to me, I think Boston's better than the Vegas Knights. Next is the Tampa Bay Lightning. How the heck are they second? They just won the Stanley Cup. This team is going to repeat, in my opinion. But okay, I mean, do we even have to go over this? But okay, let's just do this. Steven Stamkos, Andrei Valesky is their goaltender. Kucherov. I mean, it is just ridiculous. They are so armed. Colton is a great player. Braden Point, Victor Hedman. I mean, if you did fantasy drafts and all you did was draft the Tampa Bay Lightning, you probably win. Alex Kilroy, Ryan McDonough, which kills me to this day that the Rangers let him go, but I'm glad he won a Stanley Cup, so I'm not angry. I mean, this team's just stacked. How the hell are they second? I really want to know who's first. Like, Brent Seabrook is on this team. Did they lose a major player that I'm missing? They got Corey Perry now. I don't see it. I don't see where they fell off that they would be second. So I'm sorry. I would put them first. I think I know what team is coming, but I don't get it. I just don't see it. All right, so let's go. See number one. Okay, first place, they have the Colorado Avalanche. Okay. I think I understand why they put them number one. First off, there's a good amount of players on here that were on my fantasy team last year. I did have Darcy Kemper, which is a goaltender you guys now have. And I also had Pavel Francois. I don't know how you say his last name. And Mikko Rantanen. So 3 players on my fantasy team. And you got two great goaltenders that you can switch up any day. Then you got Landeskog. They picked up, I always call him Toes, whatever, a defenseman from the Islanders. You got Stefan Matteau. Every time I hear that name, I just think about 94 Stanley Cup run by the Rangers. Matteau. Ranger fans will know what I'm talking about. Yeah, this team is good. But are they better than the Lightning? If they were to go head to head with the Lightning, I don't see them winning. So, I mean, they've added some good players. Jack Johnson's a good player. But I don't see why they would be ranked above. Honestly, I would say top three would be the Lightning, the Bruins, and then probably the Avalanche. I don't see the Avalanche beating the Lightning or the Bruins. So they better hope those two teams get eliminated somehow before they get to the finals. But that's my take on these odds. You tell me, who do you think is going to win the Stanley Cup this year? And who are you rooting for? Who's your team? In the comments down below. But that's the video for today. I'm out. Run that outro.